Hello, 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 and welcome to Freedom with Marketing. I'm Sam, the founder of Freedom with Marketing, and welcome to the Life, Leadership and Business Lessons playlist. In this playlist, I want to share with you experiences that I've had in my life, in particular from my other hobby and passion of long distance running, and then show you how you can apply these same lessons to avoid the mistakes that I have made. In this video, I want to talk to you about a concept which is never quit during a low point. Equally, never make important decisions during a high point. In the context of long distance running, if you're out doing a long race, most likely the cycle that you're going to go through is you'll start a run, you'll feel excited, the adrenaline's pumping, you're ready to go. You'll get through part of a race and you'll go up, you'll start to feel great, everything feels good, everything's starting to work. But all of a sudden, you'll start to experience problems, things go wrong, often earlier than you expect them to, and then you'll go down and down and down and down until you reach sort of a low point in the run. At this point, it might be when you're 12 hours into a run, knowing that you're probably going to have another 18 hours left to finish it, and everything hurts, you've got all these problems, and you start to think, how on earth can I possibly do this? But if you keep pushing through, you'll slowly go up and up and up, until you reach maybe the final third of the race, where you're actually starting to think to yourself, I actually got a chance of doing this. And then the closer you are to the finish, the higher and higher that you actually go. So that's pretty much the same kind of cycle that I go through myself during any run, including training runs as well, where you have to push hard for certain periods of time, depending on what the workout is. And this actual pattern here is kind of, I think it's called the Valley of Despair. I'm not sure who first coined it. Go and search for it. I found that this graphical representation of the emotions, the positive and negative emotions that you feel while you are taking on a big kind of challenge or a big task applies to all areas of life. Now, to take this a step further, is most people will quit a race during a low point. Example, when I did a run a few years back, it was a run that I didn't finish myself. There was a section where you had to go up a really steep hill in the dark. It just got dark when I was climbing it, and you're climbing about 600 or 700 meters in the space of 2 kilometers. So that is insanely steep in the dark with a headlight on, hot and humid conditions. And at the top of this hill, when the sun goes down, the heat disappears and all of a sudden it's cool. You're 700 meters higher than at the bottom, which is about 7 degrees cooler. So all of a sudden the temperature plummets, people start shivering, they're really cold, things start to suck at that one particular aid station. Most people dropped out of a race and quit at that aid station as a result of them having to get through a really hard climb. Going through at the bottom, it was really hot. They were sweating profusely and their bodies generating heat during a hard climb. Suddenly you get to the top where the temperature's plummeted because it's nighttime and the elevation, and suddenly their body stops working, they get really cold, they start shivering, they don't know what to do, and then people start to drop out. The solution, of course, would be to get moving as fast as possible to replace the calories that you just burned during the climb, have a hot drink, get some caffeine in you, and then get moving as fast as possible. And while you're moving, take on more and more calories to try to replenish the calorie deficit, which will take you out of the low point that you are. In that scenario, most people quit. That was one of the areas of the run where it had the highest amount of did not finished. People decided this is too much, it sucks at this present moment, I want out. Now the converse is true too during a run, that you'll often find that 1 minute, for me, it's usually after I've had some calories and I start to run at a faster pace and the calories have started to kick in, so I'm getting more and more energy. Plus when I'm listening to music and certain songs come up, and then all of a sudden I have a sort of rush of certain hormones going through me. I think it's dopamine released in your brain. I start to get goosebumps over and I start to feel great. When I start to push, I feel on top of the world. And then in moments like this, you feel like you can run forever. And then in a scenario like this, you make bad decisions, not because you're going to quit the race, but you feel fantastic, you feel great, so you push harder than you should. which then expends more energy. It makes you more fatigued, and then not too often in less time than you anticipate in the future, the endorphin rush and the high goes, and then you crash down into a low point. Why? Because you felt great, you felt like this moment is going to last forever, you feel like you can push hard, and then all of a sudden it stops. Whereas the best thing to do in a scenario like that would be, and I can say this from experience because I've made this mistake so many times, and I will likely make this mistake for many times in the future as well, is you need to control your pace so it's something that you can maintain, and you need to still take on more and more calories, because it's the calories and the energy that you put into your body that's going to allow you to continue to have this high sort of experience. So in both scenarios here, that when you're at a high point, you make decisions which are detrimental to your performance and outcome, and when you're at a low point, you make decisions that are detrimental to your outcome and performance. The lesson is that whenever you're in life and you're in a situation that seems terrible, the sky's falling, everything's going wrong, don't make any decisions then. Wait for it to pass. Likewise, when you're feeling on top of the world, something great's just happened, don't make decisions based on those emotions. They are the same as the negative emotions, but opposite, and it basically skews the way that you think and make decisions. So another way to think about it is two people that just meet, they fall in love instantly, they love being around each other, so they run off and get married within a month or two, and then after they're married and the reality sets in, it turns out that they don't actually like each other because they've just gone through the honeymoon period. That's all I've got for you in this video. A quick note before we conclude, that in the case of business, that you will experience highs and lows, try to remain a level head, try to focus on the outcome that you want and make decisions that will move you closer to the outcome, not based on the present emotions you are feeling because of the situation. That's all I've got for today. See you in the next video.